Do you
76.
recall much about testifying before the Senate?
Oh, yeah.
Can you talk
And-
about that?
well, first we had to convince the Senate that it was an issue worthy of being a hearing to be held. So did our work around the demographics of veterans in prison. We had a relationship with Congressman Ron Dellum. He was our outside coordinator, believe that. So we had a congressperson who understood what was going on, who was committed to assisting blacks in prison, right? And excuse me,
What was his name again? Ron.
U.S. Congressman Ronald Dellums from Berkeley. I think it was from Berkeley, California, Oakland, one of the two. And and so through his largesse of being a U.S. congressman and a very popular one, that we was able to move in and out of prison pretty good, right? And people from the president's office came down to visit us, and so that gave us a lot more protection around and freedom around to move within the administrative processes and procedures of the prison. You see,
So
and
you were on the ground actually doing the research of finding out how many incarcerated veterans were in
yes,
prison.
yes, exactly. But first, I
How long
started
did
with
that take?
well, first I started with the prison I was in. I was incarcerated, so all we had to do is get the data on that, right? And then push that. And as it's pushing that forward, we found out more. We found out that almost every prison in the United States had like either way from 20 to 25% Vietnam veterans. So that talks about the readjustment issues from coming home from war back to society. And so when Senator Alan Cranston called the hearing on readjustment problems of Vietnam veterans, I was in the forefront of testifying for incarcerated veterans, the issues of incarcerated veterans. And after that, the federal government put in place what they call the Vietnam Vet Centers so that veterans can go and talk to each other and share their experiences or readjustment experience with each other. And I think it was about 14 was put online around that time, 1980. And I chose the farthest city I could find. I'm down south. I chose Little Rock, Arkansas, out of all the options where of cities that the vet centers would be established. And I chose Little Rock, Arkansas. I didn't want to go to D.C. I didn't want to stay in D.C. I didn't want to stay in Philadelphia because I didn't want to stay into the major cities because they had so much more resources, right? And I felt that based on my experience inside a prison with veterans and being a veteran, that the worst conditions of veterans exist in the South, in those southern prisons, Angola, you know, Arkansas State Prison, those type of things. Parchment, Mississippi, prison farm. And so, yeah, so we did all that type of work to engage those. We used the administration of the Lord Reformatory to engage those administrators of those institutions and set it up as an example of what they could do with the veterans in their prison.